Yeah, so Jessica's got me watching Game of Thrones. We're on season 1, episode 8, I believe.
Sweet. How are you
Yeah.
enjoying the first season?
Oh, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I remember it must have been like 6-8 months ago. You showed me the first episode. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm in, man. I like this.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really find anywhere to watch it, so I was like, just all right, whatever. It'll be around. It's one of these epics that everybody talks about. But yeah, really, really starting to like this.
Yeah. I've probably watched the first season completely through, maybe 4 times.
Is it your favorite?
I don't know if it's my favorite. It's kind of like the Fellowship effect.
Yes.
Where it starts, everything starts, and pieces start to unravel. If you're on episode 8?
I can't remember if we're on episode 8 or if we finished episode 8.
Okay, so did...
I want to say the last scene was when Tyrion Lannister, that's Peter Dinklage, right?
Yep.
Was talking to Tywin. Is that his father's name?
Baelor is the name of the episode.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Where they're about to go to battle.
Yes, where Robb has got his Stark people going, and then trying to remember what the name of the woodsmen that find Tyrion, and they're gonna kill him originally. They keep calling him Half Man.
Oh, the Hill tribe people?
Yeah. And I'm trying to remember what the name of the guy is that defended Tyrion during the trial. Bronn, there you go.
Bronn's a badass.
He's like, Bronn, son of... you wouldn't know him.
Yeah, I like Bronn. Yeah. Bronn he's kind of like a Han Solo character, but like a bad Han Solo
he seems more roguish than most people, especially there's very few people that are like, I'm by myself. Like, everybody's like, I'm part of this group or I'm part of that group.
Right.
But he's like, nope, I'm by myself.
Yeah, heritage and lineage and all that stuff matter so much in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And then, it's so refreshing to see Bronn. And, like, the Hound later on kind of becomes a character like that.
Yes.
He's that big guy with the Hound helmet.
With the scarred face from the mountain.
Yeah, and then you saw the mountain.
Yes, where he chops off a horse's head.
Yeah, his own horse's head.
Yes.
Because he lost the joust.
Oh, that was hilarious.
So he's played by like 3 or 4 different actors throughout the series.
The Mountain?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's what I was wondering, because when they showed him in the first season, I'm like, that doesn't look like the guy I remember being the world's strongest man, and he's like legitimately now the world's strongest man.
Yeah,
the Mountain.
Yeah, the actor who plays him. Yep. So yeah, it's a great casting, their latest one. And he's been the Mountain since, I believe, season 4.
And now is he the White Mountain? Didn't he die and come back or something?
Well, I wouldn't want to spoil it.
Okay.
So.
Well, I mean, obviously, I already know part of it if I've gone that far. It's usually just like what you've been talking about. Or...
Yeah. Oh, man, 2019 cannot come soon enough. I cannot wait for this to wrap up. So now is this
the very last of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're only doing 4 or 5 episodes.
Okay, now I wasn't sure if they were splitting that up between 2 other seasons.
They did.
Oh, so the first season was okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
The first part of this has already
That was like 6 episodes or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back to We Sound Like Nerds, official podcast of the We Sound Like Nerds podcast. I'm your host, John Grinzel. With me, as always, my co-host, Kyle. Our senior research analyst, Jordan, will not be joining us today, so it's just going to be me and him. So what we're going to do today is something different. We're going to take a look at the Myers-Briggs personality test. It's a test that I've taken a couple times over the years, and I've always gotten the same result, so I figure it's probably pretty accurate. So Kyle and I are going to take turns asking each other the questions over at 16personalities.com. It's a free way to take the test. And then unlike the other websites that are out there, it's pretty in-depth, actually. They go through many different pages once you get your result about what kind of relationships you could look for, what kind of work place you would be best in, how to work or have a relationship with these people, how to be friends with someone that is this personality type. So it's not an end-all, be-all answer for what makes you you, but it's pretty cool to check out if you've never done it before.
Gotta give me some of them Higgs bosons.
Or Myers-Briggs.
The Myers-Briggs versus the Higgs bosons.
All right, so since there's only two of us today, I was thinking that we would just give the test to each other.
Okay.
So you're going to go first.
Cool.
And then I'll go, and then we'll compare our answers at the end.
Sweet.
Apparently, this takes less than 12 minutes. They want you to answer honestly, even if you don't like the answer, and try not to leave any neutral answers.
Cool.
So your options are strongly agree, slightly agree, neutral, slightly disagree, strongly disagree.
Okay, so 3 agrees, 3 disagrees, and a neutral.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, question 1 for Kyle. You find it difficult to introduce yourself to other people?
Sort of agree. The lowest agree.
Lowest agree.
Yeah, just
Sounds
a step
good.
above neutral.
You often get so lost in thoughts that you ignore or forget your surroundings.
Sort of disagree.
You try to respond to your emails as soon as possible and cannot stand a messy inbox.
Oh, that's a solid disagree.
Strongly or just normal?
Just a normal.
You find it easy to stay relaxed even when there is some pressure.
Strongly disagree. I can't relax even when I'm relaxed.
You do not usually initiate conversation.
Strongly agree.
You rarely do something just out of sheer curiosity.
Sort of agree.
Interesting. Next page. You feel superior to other people.
Strongly agree.
Being organized is more important to you than being adaptable. Being organized is more important than being adaptable.
Strongly disagree.
You are usually highly motivated and energetic.
I'm going to go a soft disagree with
Soft
that.
disagree?
Soft disagree.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm going to try to avoid neutral. Normally I would have done neutral for that, but
Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset.
soft disagree. If I have to like hurt somebody's feelings to prove a point or to like show them that, you know, this is truth, so be it.
So it would be winning debate matters.
I'd rather more win the debate than to make sure the person didn't get their feelings hurt. Winning over feelings.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You did that right then.
Yeah.
You often feel as if you have to justify yourself to other people.
Disagree.
Your home and work environments are quite tidy.
Strongly disagree.
I used to work with you. It was pretty tidy.
You should go look at my room. Like my closet's a fucking mess.
You do not mind being at the center of attention.
Strongly disagree. I don't like being the center of attention.
You consider yourself more practical than creative.
I agree with that.
People can rarely upset you.
Strongly disagree. Super strongly disagree.
I feel like these questions are upsetting you.
I'm just being energetic about it.
Your travel plans are usually well thought out.
I agree with that.
It is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings.
No, I'm like highly empathetic, so strongly disagree with that.
Your mood can change very quickly.
Strongly agree.
Really?
You hit the right button with me, man, you're going to see a fucking pissed off Kyle.
But can pissed off Kyle go happy?
As quickly as I went pissed?
Yeah.
No, definitely not. No, it's I boil quick, slow to simmer.
In a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities.
True. Yeah, I agree with that.
You rarely worry about how your actions affect other people.
Disagree.
Your work style is closer to random energy spikes than to a methodical and organized approach.
I disagree with that. I'm pretty methodical. There's control to my chaos.
You are often envious of others.
Soft agree.
Oh. Interesting. An interesting book or video game is often better than a social event.
Oh, strongly agree. Can we get any more than strongly agree?
That's as high as it goes. Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part. Being able to develop a plan. I have mouth
You got the mouth
paralysis.
flops.
Yeah. Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part of every project. There's a lot of P's in that.
I'm gonna
phrase.
I'm gonna disagree with that. I was gonna strongly disagree, but I'm just gonna disagree with that. I think improvisation is better than.
Sure. You rarely get carried away by fantasies and ideas.
I'll do a sort of disagree with, or a sort of agree with that.
Sort of agree?
Yeah.
Okay. You often find yourself lost in thought when you are walking in nature.
I'm gonna do a sort of agree with that. I like to keep my head on a swivel, but I do like to let my mind wander.
If someone does not respond to your email quickly, you start worrying if you said something wrong.
Strongly agree. Yeah.
See, I think they should replace that with text.
That would probably be it too. Yeah, or like any sort of digital communication.
Yeah. I don't email that often.
Nor do I. Yeah.
It's like the checkbook of the digital zone.
This is true.
I don't email people, but I'll text you or Facebook message you. As a parent, you'd rather see your child grow up kind than smart.
I'm going to have to go neutral on that one. I think I'd rather him have a decent mix, but...
Interesting.
Maybe smarter more than kind.
You do not let other people influence your actions.
True. I'll do agree with that. Yeah.
When you sleep, where do your fingers go? Your dreams tend to focus on the real world and its events.
In my dreams?
Yes.
Well, on the rare chance that I remember them, I usually wake up going, what the fuck was that all about? So I'm going to strongly disagree with that.
Strongly disagree. Okay. It does not take you much time to start getting involved in social activities at your new workplace.
Strongly disagree. I'm not much of a social butterfly.
You are more of a natural improviser than a careful planner.
Agree.
Oop. Your emotions control you more than you control them.
God, I'm going to have to go with agree, or soft agree.
Soft agree?
Yeah.
I figured. You enjoy going to social events that involve dress-up or role-play activities.
I agree. I mean, I do love me a good Renaissance festival. I don't often dress up.
Sure.
Only because it's usually like balls hot out or something, but...
You often spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas.
I agree with that.
You'd rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan.
Soft agree.
You are a relatively reserved and quiet person.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Highly armed, but soft-spoken. I got big sticks.
If you had a business, you would find it very difficult to fire loyal but underperforming employees.
I agree with that, yeah. Loyalty is important to me.
You often contemplate the reasons for human existence.
Yeah, strongly agree.
Logic is usually more important than heart when it comes to making important decisions.
I'm going to soft agree with that, yeah.
I think our answers are going to end up being pretty similar, actually, so I don't know. Keeping your options open is more important than having a to-do list.
I'm going to soft agree with that one, too.
If your friend is sad about something, you are likely to offer emotional support than suggest ways to deal with the problem.
Agree.
All right, we're almost there. You rarely feel insecure.
Oh, strongly disagree.
You have no difficulties coming up with a personal timetable and sticking to it.
Soft disagree, sort of, yeah.
Being right is more important than being cooperative when it comes to teamwork.
I'm gonna soft agree with that.
Soft agree.
Yeah.
These idiots don't know anything.
Well, I mean, it's like occasionally you do have to, like, especially when you're working with other people of dissenting opinion that, sometimes you have to be like, all right, put the foot down.
Yeah. I get that. You think that everyone's view should be respected regardless of whether they are supported by facts or not?
Strongly, strongly, strongly disagree. Strongly disagree.
You feel more energetic after spending time with a group of people?
Yeah, I'll agree with that, yeah.
You frequently misplace your things?
Ooh. Disagree. I don't know, do I want to go strongly disagree?
I don't know, it's up to you.
I'm just going to stick with disagree.
Okay. You see yourself as very emotionally stable?
I
know what I would say.
What would you say?
I would say soft disagree.
I was going to say soft agree.
Soft agree? Okay.
Maybe we should split the difference, go neutral with that.
All right, neutral. Your mind is always buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans.
I agree with that. Yeah. I'm a plotter.
You would not call yourself a dreamer?
Well, I'm not an immigrant, so no. No, I'd say I'm more of a realist. I'm going to disagree with that. I'm more of a realist.
Okay.
Or was it I do call myself a dreamer?
You would not call yourself a dreamer.
Oh, then I'll agree with that. Yeah, sorry. Went the other way with that one.
You usually find it difficult to relax when talking in front of many people?
Oh, strongly agree.
Generally speaking, you rely more on your experience than your imagination?
Sort of agree.
You worry too much about what other people think?
I'm going to go sort of agree.
If the room is full, you stay closer to the walls, avoiding the center?
Strongly agree.
You have a tendency to procrastinate until there is not enough time to do everything?
Ooh, that's a... Originally, I was going to say strongly agree, but I think I'm just going to go to agree with that.
Okay. You feel very anxious in stressful situations?
Ooh, agree. Strongly agree. Yes.
You believe that is more that mouth.
That mouth, though.
That mouth, though.
Yeah.
You've always been interested in unconventional and ambiguous things. Example, books, arts, or movies.
I'll agree with that.
You often take initiative in social situations.
Ooh, disagree.
Wow. We got your results.
Ooh, we're all done.
All right. So now we're going to do me.
Okay, and then we'll look at
then we'll look at the results together.
Yeah.
All right, spin in the laptop. Just use the trackpad, and then 2 fingers is to scroll.
Oh, okay.
Up and down.
Not spread, just like
Yep.
actually 2. Okay.
Yep. See if it works for you. Did that work for you? Okay.
Yeah.
So now it's time for my questions. Hit it.
All right, John. You find it difficult to introduce yourself to other people?
Slightly disagree.
You often get so lost in thought that you ignore or forget your surroundings?
Often? Slightly disagree.
Hang on, where do I click at? How do I click this thing?
Oh,
Do I
you just
tap
press,
it?
yeah.
Well, it's not staying, the bubble's not staying highlighted.
Are you over the bubble?
Yeah, I'm over the bubble.
Did you click down like towards the bottom?
Does the bubble stay filled?
Yeah, it should stay filled.
Oh, I see.
You got it?
actually got to click this. I thought it was just tap the
Oh, no,
thing.
no.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
no, all right, I got it. All right, so
Clicks like a mouse.
what was the other one? You often get so lost in thought that you ignore or forget your surroundings.
I would do slight disagree with that one as well.
You try to respond to your emails as soon as possible and cannot stand a messy inbox.
That's a regular disagree.
Regular disagree. You find it easy to stay relaxed even when there is some pressure.
Regular agree.
You do not usually initiate conversation.
Regular agree.
You rarely do something just out of sheer curiosity.
Slight disagree.
You feel superior to other people.
Strongly agree.
Being organized is more important to you than being adaptable.
Slight disagree.
You are usually highly motivated and energetic.
Slight disagree.
Slight disagree. Oh, yeah. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset.
Disagree.
You often feel as if you have to justify yourself to other people.
Slight disagree.
Your home and work environment are quite tidy.
Agree.
You do not mind being the center of attention.
Slightly agree.
You consider yourself more practical than creative.
Regular disagree.
People can rarely upset you.
People can rarely upset me. Slightly agree.
Your travel plans are usually well thought out.
Slight agree.
Ooh. It is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings.
It's difficult?
Yeah, it is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings.
Strongly disagree. Except for racists. I don't.
Yeah, and that's why when I was thinking of the question of do you feel superior to people, I was like, fucking right, I do, especially Nazis. All right, your mood can change very quickly.
Slight agree.
Slight agree. Next page. All right. In a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities.
Agree.
You rarely worry about how your actions affect other people.
Slight disagree.
Slight disagree? Yeah. Your work style is closer to random energy spikes than to a methodical and organized approach.
Agree.
You are often envious of others.
Strongly disagree.
Ooh, John's got everything he needs.
Yeah.
An interesting book or a video game is often better than a social event. Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part of every project.
Regular disagree.
Regular disagree?
Yeah.
Nice. John likes to wing it. You rarely get carried away by fantasies and ideas.
I don't know if I like to wing it. It's just I end up winging it more often than...
Like I said, I think adaptability is improv. Like that's where you really see true intelligence pop out.
Yeah.
Like being able to adapt.
Sometimes it doesn't work.
This is true, but being able to think on the fly, change things as needed, I think is more important than having a solid plan to begin with.
Exactly.
Because there's a saying that every battle plan goes to shit once you meet the enemy or once the first bullet flies or something. I forget how exactly that saying goes.
Platitudes.
That's more like, I'll pray for you. Thoughts and prayers, those are platitudes. All right, you rarely get carried away by fantasies and ideas.
I rarely get carried away by them. Let's go neutral.
Neutral. You often find yourself lost in thought when you are walking in nature.
I would say regular agree.
Regular agree. If someone does not respond to your email/text quickly, you start worrying if you said something wrong.
Slight agree.
Yeah. As a parent, you would rather see your child grow up kind than smart.
Agree.
Okay.
It's different when you have kids.
I was going to say, like, me, it's just like this fictional child. For
like,
you, it's like your actual little ones.
To be honest, like, my kids are really mean to each other. Like, straight up dicks most of the time.
Just to each other?
Just to each other.
But to other kids, they're pretty good?
kids, they're really great.
Okay.
And I wish they were nicer to each other. I bet every parent wishes that. But
I do see, being that I work with both my siblings.
Oh, yeah.
And they were actually at work for a little while together. And just, they rag on each other all the time.
Yeah.
It's just, For me, it's different because occasionally I'll say something to like barb one of them, but they're actually like, they seem to be mean to each other.
Like
I'm not going to be mean to you guys, but I'll like give you some shit now and then.
Spitefully mean. And they're younger than you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They're 25.
Okay.
Cassie's a minute older.
Okay. Because they're twins.
Yeah. You do not let other people influence your actions.
Strongly agree.
When you sleep, your dreams tend to focus on the real world and its events.
Slightly agree.
Slightly agree.
Yeah.
It does not take much time for you to start getting involved in social activities at your new workplace.
Regular disagree.
Regular disagree.
I think the only person I've hung out with from my current job is Jordan.
Oh, really?
And he left like 2 years ago now. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really hang much with people that I work with either. You are more of a natural improviser than a careful planner.
I wouldn't say I'm good at improv, but I would slightly agree with that.
Okay. Your emotions control you more than you control them.
Regular disagree.
You enjoy going to social events that involve dress up or role play activities.
Yeah, slightly agree.
Slightly agree.
I usually hate social events, but
well, I mean, like you
Halloween
ever been to
parties
like
are
a Renaissance festival or something?
I have not, but I would like to go.
If the one here in town gets better, because it's been going downhill for the last like 10 years.
See, I didn't even know. The only one I've ever known about is the one near Shakopee.
Yep, Shakopee.
Yeah.
God, that one is good.
Is it?
Yeah, obviously you've
Never been. Yeah.
They've got like an entire village.
That's
like,
pretty sweet.
Oh, it's so cool. Went down to the one in Kansas City, and it's just a little bit better, but the drive was worse.
Yeah, sure.
Anyways, you often spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas.
Slightly agree.
Slightly agree.
I'm talking from the back of my throat again.
Ooh.
We need to talk with the front of our mouths.
Oh, I see. Let the words project.
Because then otherwise we start talking like this.
Very monotone.
Actually, before you go to the next question, Laura was saying that when she listens to the podcast, I'm doing it again. We sound like me more than you guys because she doesn't hang out with you guys that often. But she's like, you almost sound like a male Kardashian. I'm like, what does that mean? She's like, yeah, right, yeah. Like, I don't really sound like that. She's like, well, I know what your normal speaking voice is, so it always sounds like, I don't know, like you're trying to sound cool or something.
I think it is
That's
different
really
when you have to speak like right to a microphone that's right in front of your face.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, do I overspeak?
See, there I am again.
Like,
yeah. So I've been doing little vocal exercises this week.
Is that what that was before we started? Unique New York.
Yeah.
All right. Should we continue?
Let's continue.
All right.
Nice aside.
Would you rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan? I'm sorry, I should restate that. You would rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan.
I guess slightly disagree.
Okay.
I usually have to improvise because I don't plan.
I'm the same way.
But I wouldn't rather do that. Like, I'd rather there would be a plan.
Yes, exactly.
And then I didn't have to improvise.
I'm good at following, like, directions. Step 1, step 2.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. All right. You are a relatively reserved and quiet person.
Regular agree.
Regular agree. If you had a business, you would find it very difficult to fire loyal but underperforming employees.
Slightly disagree.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence.
Slightly agree.
Logic is usually more important than heart when
Strongly
it comes to... keeping your options open is more important than having a to-do list.
Slightly disagree.
But that's really kind of skewed because a to-do list is just something that you have to do at your own leisure.
Right.
So keeping your options open is like part of the to-do list. I don't know. That one's kind of funky.
Yeah, keeping my options open was my number 3 thing on my to-do list.
Improvise is number 1. All right. If your friend is sad about something, you are more likely to offer emotional support than suggest ways to deal with the problem.
Slightly agree.
Okay.
I'm empathetic.
You rarely feel insecure.
Neutral.
You have no difficulties coming up with a personal timetable and sticking to it.
Slightly disagree.
Being right is more important than being able to cooperate when it comes to teamwork.
Let's see here. Being right?
Yep. Being right is more important than being cooperative.
Slightly agree.
Okay. You think that everyone's views should be respected regardless of whether they're... Once again, Nazis. You feel more energetic after spending time with a group of people.
More energetic?
I'd say, like, in the context of this podcast, that's not true because you're usually on a, 24-hour stint right now? Or,
Yeah.
So,
well,
I'm assuming once you get done with this, you're like, I'm going to
my
bed.
standard operating mode is exhausted. So,
well,
doing
with that many
anything,
kids and a night job and all that stuff.
Doing anything is just draining. So, yeah, I would slightly agree with that, I guess.
Okay.
Doing that game of D&D next week, so that should be pretty fun.
Oh, yeah.
I've never played, so...
Oh, you haven't?
No.
I figured you had at least a game or two under your belt.
I was never cool enough to be nerdy enough to go play D&D, so...
Don't you mean you were never nerdy enough to be cool enough to play D&D?
Maybe.
Yeah. You never know which one comes first, man. You frequently misplace your things.
Now, Laura would say strongly agree. I would say...
I think we better put you down for a slight agree.
Like slightly agree. I'm usually asking her where my shit is. But it's because she moved it.
See, now that's different. Like, when you know where you put something, you're like, it's not here. What the hell? All right. You see yourself as very emotionally stable.
Strongly agree.
Cool. Your mind is always buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans.
Regular agree.
Okay. You would not call yourself a dreamer.
Slightly disagree.
Okay. Like to have them dreams?
When I can have them, yeah.
When I have enough time to get to REM sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
You usually find it difficult to relax when talking in front of many people.
Regular agree. I haven't talked in front of like a big group of people that often. I think the last time I did it was for my buddy's wedding, and I was his best man, and I gave my worst performance ever. I was just like, thanks for coming to their wedding. Immediately, I was like, I'm fucking this up for him. So,
How many
Dan,
people?
if you're out there, I've never apologized for my best man speech, but it was really bad, and I feel terrible. If I could redo it, I would. So,
How many people?
There was easily like 80 plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was also a best man and gave a best man speech in probably in front of like closer to 200.
Oh, that's how high it could have been. It was a
lot of people.
It was a little...
And if it weren't for like the 4 beers that I had beforehand, I would have been fucked.
Sure.
Like, that was...
Yeah, I was not on my game for that speech.
All right, continuing. Generally speaking, you rely more on experience than your imagination.
Slightly agree.
You worry too much about what other people think.
Disagree.
Regular
disagree, yeah.
If the room is full, you stay closer to the walls, avoiding the center.
Regular agree.
You have a tendency to procrastinate until there is not enough time to do everything.
Slightly agree.
You feel very anxious in stressful situations.
Strongly disagree.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, look at you. All right. You believe that it is more rewarding to be liked by others than to be powerful. I don't remember you asking me this question.
Interesting. What? One more time?
You believe that it is more rewarding to be liked by others than to be powerful.
Jeez, I don't know.
Why didn't I get this question? I seriously don't remember this.
I guess slightly agree.
All right. You have always been interested in unconventional and ambiguous things, e.g.
Yeah, strongly agree.
Okay. You often take initiative in social situations.
Slightly disagree.
Slightly disagree. Results.
All right, so we're gonna get into the results side of things, and Kyle, we both came up with the same personality type.
Are you serious?
We are both INTP.
Huh.
So yeah, INTP. We are logicians. Now we're just gonna go through kind of the website 16personalities.com, free plug, but I've gone through this stuff before because I wanted to know, like, oh, what does that mean?
From this website?
Yeah, from this website. So it's scary how much it fits me. So that's why we're going to talk about you, because they break it up into 16 personality types.
Okay.
INTP is the smallest percentage of the human race.
Sweet.
Personality type.
We're
I think
minorities.
it's like less than 3%, they said.
Ooh, holy moly. Now, that'll come to me.
Okay, so we'll just go kind of through this.
Now, do the letters correlate to something, or is that just kind of... Okay.
Yep, they do. Introverted, intuitive, thinking, prospecting, assertive.
Interesting.
Okay, so logician personality. The logician personality type is fairly rare, making up only 3% of the population, which is definitely a good thing for them, as there's nothing they'd be more unhappy about than being common. Logicians pride themselves on their inventiveness and creativity, their unique perspective and vigorous intellect. Usually known as the philosopher, the architect, or the dreamy professor. Dreamy professor.
Professor McDreamy.
Logicians have been responsible for many scientific discoveries throughout history. They love patterns and spotting discrepancies between statements could almost be described as a hobby, making it a bad idea to lie to a logician. This makes it ironic that logicians' words should always be taken with a grain of salt. It's not that they are dishonest, but people with the logician personality type tend to share thoughts that are not fully developed, using others as a sounding board for ideas and theories in a debate against themselves rather than an actual conversation partner.
Okay, now I can totally read in that to myself.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things about this is it's like a horoscope or a fortune cookie. Like, you're going to try to get it to fit to you. Like,
right. But, like, yeah, so I've gone through a couple of the other personality types. I'm like, yeah, that totally would not be me.
Okay,
and
so
it's
you
interesting that I've taken this test. I said at the beginning, like, I think this is the 5th time I've taken this test. I've taken it twice on this website and then other times just on the internet, places I've found it. I've always ended up INTP.
Nice.
So
at least it's consistent.
Yeah. So
are they always the same questions?
Not always.
Okay.
At least I don't remember all of those questions on the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So
nice.
Okay, so this may make them appear unreliable, but in reality, no one is more enthusiastic and capable of spotting a problem, drilling through the endless factors and details that encompass the issue, and developing a unique and viable solution than logicians. Just don't expect punctual progress reports. People who share the logician personality type aren't interested in practical day-to-day activities and maintenance, but when they find an environment where their creative genius and potential can be expressed, there's no limit to the time and energy logicians will expend in developing an insightful and unbiased solution.
Sweet. Now, are these the same for both of us then?
Yeah.
Okay, so
we both
once you get that,
same.
So for the INTP, every one of these things is the same?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I believe you are a little bit less assertive.
Oh, do they have varying
more
degrees
turbulent.
Of which ones?
Yes.
Oh.
So I got 65% introverted, 35% extroverted, 59% intuitive, 41% observant, 60% thinking, 40% feeling, 58% prospecting, 42% judging.
Okay. So, I mean, you're almost down the middle on most of those, aside from the introvert-extrovert part.
Yeah. And then assertive, 75%, turbulent, 25%.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so logicians may appear to drift about in an unending daydream, but logicians' thought process is unceasing, and their minds buzz with ideas from the moment they wake up. This constant thinking can have the effect of making them look pensive and detached, as they are often conducting full-fledged debates within their own heads. But really, logicians are quite relaxed and friendly when they are with people they know. or who share their interests. I'm like, yep. That's definitely me.
I strongly agree with those statements.
Cool.
Cool.
Very cool.
So cool.
However, this can be replaced by overwhelming shyness when logician personalities are among unfamiliar faces, and friendly banter can quickly become combative if they believe their logical conclusions or theories are being criticized.
Nice.
Let's see here. I mean, this is like 9 pages long, so...
See, I'm hesitant to want to let a computer know what I am, or for me to admit that this computer knows me, because there's times where I don't even know myself.
And
you
it's
know
an
what I
Apple
mean?
product.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you want to know some famous logicians?
Sure. Einstein?
Aemon Targaryen, Game of Thrones.
I'm not sure which one Aemon is.
Lord Varys, Game of Thrones.
Which one's Varys?
The bald one.
The eunuch?
Yeah.
Ah.
Neo from The Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you only know him as Maester Aemon right now.
No, they do call him Varys.
No, the Maester at the Night's Watch.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
His last name is what I just said it was.
Because he is the father of Bronn? Not Bronn. No, that was the captain of the Night's Watch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that his father?
Yep.
Bronn's father? Okay.
That's not Bronn.
Not Bronn.
Jorah.
No, is that his name? The guy that defends Tyrion?
No.
What's the name of the guy that fought for Tyrion?
Bronn.
Okay, that's Bronn.
Yeah.
Okay.
The leader of the Night's Watch is...
Oh, he's the guy protecting Daenerys.
Yep.
That's his dad.
Son, yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
all
yep,
right.
yep.
All right. Gotcha. I knew it was somebody's father. I just didn't remember which one. One of those things Jessica like points out. She'll pause and be like,
Oh, sure.
that's his dad. Those guys are related. It's like,
Leslie Winkle from Big Bang Theory.
Man, honestly, these names are not making me feel good about this personality type.
Abed from Community. I just started watching Community again.
I never did get into that one. That's the one. Is Donald Glover in that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to hear our strengths and weaknesses?
Sure.
Okay. People with the logician personality type view the world as a big complex machine and recognize that, as with any machine, all parts are interrelated. Logicians excel in analyzing these connections, seeing how seemingly unrelated factors tie in with each other in ways that bewilder most other personality types. They're imaginative and original. Logicians' ideas may seem counterintuitive at a glance and may never even see the light of day, but they will always prove remarkable innovations. Open-minded. Logicians couldn't make these connections if they thought they knew it all. They are highly receptive to alternate theories, so long as they're supported by logic and facts. In more subjective matters like social norms and traditions, logicians are usually fairly liberal, with a none-of-my-business sort of attitude. People's ideas are what matter. Enthusiastic. When a new idea piques their interest, logicians can be very enthusiastic. They are a reserved personality type, but if another person shares an interest, they can be downright excited about discussing it. More likely, though, the only outward evidence of this enthusiasm will be logicians' silent pacing, or they're staring into the distance. Honest and straightforward. To know one thing and say another would be terribly disingenuous. Logicians don't often go around intentionally hurting feelings, but they believe that the truth is the most important factor, and they expect that to be appreciated and reciprocated. But here are their weaknesses. They're very private and withdrawn. While logicians' intellectualism yields many insights into their surroundings are ironically considered an intrusion of their thoughts. This is especially true with people. Logicians are quite shy in social settings. More complicated situations such as parties exasperate this, but even close friends struggle to get into logicians' hearts and minds. I was going to come over, but then I just didn't feel like it.
Hey, man. At least I was honest about it, right?
That's true. That's one of our strengths. Insensitive. Oftentimes, logician personalities get so caught up in their logic that they forget any kind of emotional consideration. They dismiss subjectivity as irrational and tradition as an attempt to bar much-needed progress. Purely emotional situations are often utterly puzzling to logicians, and their lack of timely sympathy can easily offend. They tend to be absent-minded. When logicians' interest is captured, their absence goes beyond social matters to include the rest of the physical world. Logicians can become forgetful, missing even the obvious if it's unrelated to their current infatuation, and they can even forget their own health, skipping meals, and sleep as they muse. I skip sleep all the time.
Well, I don't think that's because you're musing.
You know what? We're kind of condescending too, Kyle.
See, now, I kind of wish that this would also take into account like an IQ type factor.
Oh, sure.
Like mix these in with like things so you can be like, all right, you're on the smarter end of this spectrum or the dumber end, or I don't know.
Attempts at connecting with others are often worse than logicians' withdrawal. People with the logician personality type take pride in their knowledge and rationale and enjoy sharing their ideas, but in trying to explain how they got from A to B to Z, they can get frustrated, sometimes implying things to the point of insult as they struggle to gauge their conversation partner's perspective.
Okay, yeah.
The ultimate insult comes as logicians give up with a dismissive, never mind.
I've done that once or twice.
What I always say, like when I'm conversing with my wife, is, yeah, come inside my head and you'll be able to follow what my train of thought was to get to this point. These social struggles are partly a product of logicians' desire to bypass the rules of social conduct and otherwise. While this attitude helps logicians' strength of unconventional creativity, it also causes them to reinvent the wheel constantly and to shun security in favor of autonomy in ways that can compromise both. They also have a tendency to second-guess themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Logicians remain so open to new information that they often never commit to a decision at all. Yep. This applies to their own skills as well. Logician personalities know that as they practice, they improve, and any work that they do is second best to what they could do. Unable to settle for this, logicians sometimes delay their output indefinitely with constant revisions, sometimes even quitting before they ever begin. With how many times we've recorded episodes?
Yep, I was about to say that too.
I'll start listening to it. I'm like, no, this is not good enough. We could do better. All the times I've started an RPG. And
I've got like 10 projects at home right now where I'm like, I start it and I'm like, this is what I intend to do. And then I'm like, all right, well, I need to change this about it. And I'm like, all right, well, as soon as I get around to that, and I just put it off. And I'm just like, there's a couple where I'm just like, should I just throw this away?
Yeah. So anyways, this goes much more into depth. They cover romantic relationships, friendships, parenthood, career paths, workplace habits, and finally a conclusion. So it's pretty fun. I thought it would be a fun idea to try this out. You can go to 16personalities.com to check it out, and it's the Myers-Briggs test. And they put it on this nice, like you saw, it's a nice package and well designed.
Easy to flip through.
Yeah. It didn't take us very long. We did 2 tests, and it took us like...
Thankfully, we only had to read one result.
Yeah, it would have slowed us down if we had to get 2 results here. But yeah, it only takes like 45 minutes to do all that, so...
No, when you saw my results, you knew right away, you're like, okay,
yeah.
we're the same. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Pretty funny indeed.
That's cool. Well, I mean, it makes sense. I wonder how often you can, like, find someone that you talk to and you're like, oh, yeah, I can tell this person's one of these personality types. Within, like, a half hour of you and I working together that first day, we're like, dude, we should do a podcast. We should do,
yeah.
Like, that was just, like, I mean, we gelled, man.
You mean it, like, in general terms, right? Yeah. So, speaking of when we were first going to start the podcast, we didn't know what it was going to be about.
Curling. It was totally going to be about curling.
We were going to be curling. We were going to call it, some type of curling.
And have nothing to do with curling.
Nothing to do with curling. I always say that, next week would be our curling episode. But yeah, then we got to this, and I think this is working for us. But you can find our episodes over at youtube.com, typing in We Sound Like Nerds Podcast into the search bar. You can find us there.
Sweet balls, man.
Anyways, that's pretty much all we have for the show.
Do a little nerd out? What are you going to nerd out on?
So, I have a problem. I have issues.
Do you?
Yeah. I always look the summer sales that they always have for like digital. Every week I'm like, oh, what's up there today? And then I'll spend like 20 minutes scrolling through. It's like, oh, complete edition of this game with all the DLC and stuff. It's down to like $24. And it's like,
oh, shit.
Yeah, I could get that, but it's just going to stay incomplete. So incomplete. So yeah, I've been working on Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain again.
Nice. That one was free on Xbox Live. I haven't started that one. I'm currently working through Assassin's Syndicate.
Okay,
Assassin's
sure.
Creed.
So I had picked it up for my PS3,
Nice.
and I had never picked it up for my PS4. And 2 months ago, it was free for PS4.
Nice.
And
I
so
thought that was a current gen game.
it was a previous gen game. Yeah. So
This is the one with
Kiefer Sutherland
Kiefer.
playing.
Yep, that's right.
Playing Big Boss. So, I like it. I don't love it.
Yeah.
My first Metal Gear game that I owned was number 4.
Oh, really? You never played Metal Gear Solid?
I played that, and I played the demo to death.
Yep.
And then it got me thinking about like old demo discs that you could get from magazines.
Oh God, I loved those things, dude.
Those were so
PSM
fucking
or
hot.
OPM?
No, PSM was
it PSM?
my bag.
Yeah.
OPM was the official PlayStation magazine, but
I don't remember if that one had. I know one of them had CDs.
PSM had
every month.
demo discs.
Yeah.
And PlayStation Underground was another
I think I had a few of those
like magazine
too.
that you could get.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've talked about it on the show before, but the demo discs used to have save files.
Oh, really?
And so you could, like, some, like, rarer issues. I remember one was for Gran Turismo, and you could download a save file where all of the licenses and cars and stuff were unlocked.
Oh, sweet.
And so you could have a save file on your memory card
Oh, shit,
that,
dude.
had everything complete. And so you could go through the races with, the best cars and stuff. It's like, God, that is so awesome. God, now it's just DLC. Like, can you imagine if a demo disc came out for PS4 games?
What?
Or Xbox One?
How many games nowadays can you get a trial version of? Like, it seems
Oh.
only like a quarter of them have like a playable trial.
Yeah, but it's also a digital marketplace now. So many are.
Yep. Which you would think that everybody would want a trial version because you can be like, all right, well, try like 10 minutes, 5
Right.
minutes, 10 minutes of my game. Especially like the smaller titles where it's like you can really get a feel for what the game is in just a couple minutes.
And like, do you remember shareware for old PCs? Like Doom started a shareware, so you could get the first level free, or like the first 3 levels free.
Huh.
And then if you wanted the full game, you would go to Best Buy and like buy the full game. But the shareware was shareable. That's why they called it shareware. And so, like, can you imagine if like they gave you the first 3 hours of some game nowadays, and they're like, if you want the full version, you need to buy it. Because they do have full game trial on PSN. I don't know if they have a similar thing on Xbox.
I swear there was a game that I played recently, or a trial version, where I was like, wow, there's a lot to this trial. Like, I'd have to think about that one. But yeah, they don't do that often anymore.
No.
I
Those were
remember
good old days.
I remember the term shareware, but I never actually was into computers or anything enough to utilize shareware.
Yeah, I didn't have a console of my own until I got a PS1. And so, well, I think I had a Nintendo, but it was like a garage sale Nintendo, so I didn't really have like that many games.
Yeah.
And by that time, like the N64 was out and like the PS1 was out. So
the good shit.
Yeah, so I used to play a lot of computer games.
Nice.
Before.
You were big into StarCraft, weren't you?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, I thought you were.
My friends were. And I enjoyed like the probably first 20 minutes of a strategy game, RTS.
Oh, yeah.
And then I would just get demolished because I didn't properly upgrade my units to the strongest type.
Yes, and that was always my problem too. And another reason I couldn't play like Sims worth of shit. It's just like, it's like, all right, this is what I want my town to look like, and then it just wouldn't work out. And I'm like, well, fuck this. I'm summoning a hurricane or something.
Yeah,
like
the best part of SimCity 2000 was the disasters. Look, there's a fire, a flood, a hurricane, and a giant alien.
Yes,
this is the best game ever. If only I could see them scream. Because as a masochist, slightly, Roller Coaster Tycoon, you'd build a incomplete roller coaster, and then you'd open it. And so you'd have like a loop-de-loop that would stop halfway, and then it would run down, and it would crash in with another set of cars, and then bodies would like go flying and stuff.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh, that game was so much more violent than it let on.
That's hilarious.
Okay, we're going to pause this because I just noticed that our levels here are not...
Do we funk something up, man?
God, I hope not. What is going on? I don't like that. I don't like what's going on. And once again, my levels, I can't see the levels. That's all for our show today. I don't know what the hell is going on with our recording software. But we're going to finish this off with, so I've been playing MGS5. What have you been playing, Kyle?
Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Sweet.
I'll move on to MGS5 after
that. So the first one I played was 4. And I had already played some at like friends' houses and stuff.
Was that Snake Eater? Was that 4?
Guns of the Patriots. Or Sons of the Patriots?
Sons of the Patriots. And I never played that one.
It's really good, but ultimately it's a 4-hour cutscene.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you just have like the action beats to get you to the next cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
It was the most cutscene heavy, I think, that I feel like the series had. A lot of people didn't like it for that reason, but it was my first like real MGS game that I played, so I was into it.
Nice.
And then I picked up 3 like a year or 2 later.
Snake Eater?
Snake Eater. And that quickly became one of my favorite games of like all time.
I only got, I think I rented it back when you could still rent video games at a store.
That was awesome.
Yeah, so I didn't get too much time on that one, but I do remember having some fun with it.
Man, I think that one's like the perfect MGS experience. I've never played them in order. Like, I think that would be interesting. In timeline order?
Oh, chronologically?
Yeah.
So you'd start with, what, 5? And then...
You would start with Snake Eater.
Was that the oldest one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I believe. And then Peace
So
Walker.
Like 3, 5...
Ground Zeroes.
Well, the first one was, I think you were still... No, you were Solid Snake for the first one.
Yeah, you were
so
Solid
that would have
Snake
been
at
in
that
like the 80s.
And then, you would have to play Metal Gear.
Yeah, because then you'd
Those ones would...
Yep.
Well, that's it for our show today. Thanks for tuning in. You can find all of this over at iTunes, which is where most of you will be listening from. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/WeSoundLikeNerds, on Twitter @WSLN Podcast. You can use that same handle on Instagram to follow us there. We don't update very much, but give us a follow. Next week, we might be around. I don't know. It's interesting. We got 4th of July coming up. So, for We Sound Like Nerds, I've been your host, John Grinzel.
This is Kyle.
And we'll talk to you the next time we talk at you. Okay, bye.